Are the Miami Dolphins a true threat if Tua Tagovailoa stays healthy? We are with ESPN's First Take. I think the Dolphins are awesome. I think the Dolphins are sweet. I think Tua is sweet. I think Mike McDaniel is sweet. I like what they've done with their defense. They've added players all over the place. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle still exist. I have absolutely no idea who these three people are that is talking. I should have looked that up before. But I'm not... Look, the Dolphins are... They're an interesting team because they're so exciting and so fun to watch, and they're so innovative on offense, and they have threats, and the NFL is an offensive-driven league, but I feel like people aren't taking them seriously. People take Buffalo seriously, but is Buffalo really better than Miami? I don't know. When Tua was healthy, his metrics, his analytics, all that stuff, he was one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Like it or not. Say what you want to say. You know, he's left-handed, flip the video around, make him throw right-handed, whatever you want to do. But you can't argue with the stats. Can't argue with the deep metrics. Tua performs when he's on the field. And you would assume that another year with Mike McDaniel, he's going to be even better. Now, how much his judo training and all of that stuff will kick in, I don't know. But I think the Dolphins are for real. Are they the most dangerous team in the NFL? I don't know about that. But given 4 quarters, given one game, I think Miami can beat anybody.
I like what you said about Jalen Ramsey because he's definitely a top 3 corner. There's no doubt about that. They may not be the most explosive team in their division because there's still a team called the Buffalo Bills.
See what I'm talking about? See what I'm talking about? Look at that. Immediately, people point to the Bills. Immediately. But is Buffalo more explosive than Miami? Is Buffalo that much better offensively? Is Stephon Diggs better than Tyreek Hill? I don't know. I think Buffalo kind of gets this name, or they've had this name, as this like juggernaut, high-powered offense, great team, whatever. But I don't know if they are. Now, Cincinnati, we know what they can do, right? The Chiefs, we know what they can do. We know what those teams in the AFC can do. The Miami, Buffalo, Baltimore, teams like that, I don't know if there's a lot separating any of them.
That's right. That's won that division the last couple of years. And I know they got a top 5 defense, especially when they're healthy. And Josh Allen is not going to have the kind of interception, mistake-prone turnovers that he had last year. He had 15 interceptions.
Why not? Why not? You don't think maybe that losing Brian Daboll may be a factor in Josh Allen's struggle? You don't think maybe Ken Dorsey taking over play calling is part of the struggle? Or part of the difference? Not the struggle, I guess, but you don't think maybe that'll continue? Is that not worth a question? You don't think Stephon Diggs holding out all this kind of drama around the team, you don't think that's worth a question? I think too many people just flat out write the Bills as the best team in the AFC East. I mean, I've said here many times, it wouldn't surprise me at all if Miami wins the division and the Jets and the Bills are fighting for second place. I don't think they're a lock.
And 22 total turnovers, he's not going to turn over that football. And believe me, that offense, when they get going, even without a running game, is very, very explosive. The Dolphins are going to be very creative. We know that Mike McDaniel is going to do that. And you're right about Vic Fangio. That defense potentially could be a top 10, top 8 defense. But in terms of explosive plays, they're not even the most explosive team in their own division, in my opinion. I'll take Buffalo over them. I'll take Kansas City over them. There's a certain team called Cincinnati. I know they can explode when they play football, and they made the.
This guy's just rolling. He's just saying, there's not a period in the sentence. It's just bang, bang, bang. We're just saying words. We're just tossing cliches out there. I'd have to do the work. I haven't done it, obviously, before the video. I didn't know what he was going to say. But if you went and looked at, like, explosive plays or all those deep metrics, I'd be interested to see what the Dolphins were with Tua and what the Bills were last year. I wouldn't be shocked if Miami was right there.
The AFC Championship the last couple of years with that guy named Joe Burrow, quarterback, who seems to have more availability than Tua Tagovailoa. Give me those 3. I'll take those 3 over Miami. That's not just a no, Courtney.
I mean, look, the Dolphins played the Bills real close. I mean, the Bills almost blew a, 17-point lead against the Dolphins last year. And that was the Dolphins with a third-string quarterback. So, again, this young man tends to think Buffalo is way better, but I don't know.
Respectfully, That's a hell no. They're not going to be the most explosive team if healthy.
I'm going to take the Twitter police, Twitter police, First Take police badge back. The question was not who's the most explosive, it's the most dangerous team. I know that Kansas City is a dangerous team.
Okay.
No one needs to explain that to me. I know that the Philadelphia Eagles are a dangerous team, and even the Cincinnati Bengals. They went to a Super Bowl 2 years ago. I think what we're looking at here in terms of dangerous team, the team that might sneak up on you, and I wouldn't be surprised if they end up winning the AFC East. Right now, I still have Buffalo. It's Buffalo's division, until it's not. But all of the pieces that are in place show you that they could potentially make that run and say, okay, wait, Miami, we've been waiting. There's been a lot of question marks. Oh, wait, they answered those questions.
I think a lot of people, I think it's the Josh Allen factor. I think Josh Allen was anointed as one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and he was anointed as this like future MVP and all this other stuff. But we are getting to a point with Josh Allen where if he doesn't do it this year, like if he just repeats the same as last year, you got to wonder, like, are we kind of overvaluing Josh Allen? I mean, I've been saying it, but is Josh Allen that much better than Lamar Jackson? I don't know if he is. I don't know. You know, is he that much better? Is he that much more of a factor than a healthy Tua? I don't know. People dismiss Tua because he's left-handed, because he's smaller, and because of the concussion injury, because of all that. That people look at those things and they say, well, you know, he throws weird, he's smaller, whatever. But you can't knock what he's done when he's on the field. When Tua is under center, Miami is as efficient and as explosive as Buffalo or as any other team besides Kansas City. I mean, I think Kansas City and Cincinnati, they are a league ahead AFC-wise and maybe even NFL-wise. Well, certainly NFL-wise. The NFC is kind of weak. But they are ahead of those teams. But I like Miami. The AFC East is loaded, for sure. But I love what Miami does. I'm excited to see what the team can do another year under Mike McDaniels. And I hope Tua stays healthy. I hope he stays healthy because I hope we get to see a full year of him, a full year of that offense. And this guy on the left, he may be surprised.
Mike T?
The fundamental challenge I think Miami has is this. Tua was hurt in college. He's been hurt in the NFL. That's well documented. And you look at their offensive line, while they did bring over Teron Armstead, as Courtney alluded to, he's had durability issues. But the biggest issue is Austin Jackson. He's their projected right tackle, which as a left-handed quarterback, that's the blind side to Tua. He only played in 2 games a year ago. They moved on from Mike Gesicki, which means to me they're going to even try to be more receiver dominant, which they have 2 great receivers. But it's going to come down to protections as it relates to Tua, his blind side, and Austin Jackson's durability. And when I agree with Freddie, I think Cincinnati, certainly Kansas City, but I think Cincinnati, when you look at quarterback, skill players, and offensive line, which to me is the most critical component to having an explosive offense, I give Cincinnati the most completeness of all those teams. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch the AFC because we can make an argument for Buffalo. We haven't even...
These are a bunch of people who didn't understand the assignment. You know, like, no one is arguing that Cincinnati and Kansas City aren't better than Miami. But Miami, I don't think, is getting the credit they deserve. I've been talking a lot and hearing a lot about how the Jaguars are going to the Super Bowl and how they're ready to take that step and they're ready for this and they're ready for that. I've heard a lot about the Jets. I've heard a lot about Aaron Rodgers is ready to take the Jets to the Super Bowl. I've heard a lot about Buffalo. I haven't heard that much about Miami. The 2 teams I keep talking about in the AFC are the 2 teams that I think are the most underrated and dismissed teams, and that's Miami and Baltimore. I think those 2 teams, if you told me, how am I going to word this? It's tough because of how good Kansas City and Cincinnati are, but if you told me I could have Miami and Baltimore or the field, I think I might take Miami and Baltimore. I think those teams are being slept on because of the quarterback. I think both quarterbacks are being undervalued and dismissed this year. I think Lamar Jackson is going to go absolutely bananas. I think Baltimore is one of the best run franchises in the NFL. And I think Miami's awesome. And I think Miami is, like, people keep saying Trevor Lawrence may take that next step this year. You know, he's under, Peterson, and the team is ready to take that next step. Why can't you say the same thing about Miami? Why can't you say that, like last year, the success that they had last year, given the injuries, given McDaniel's first year there, given all that stuff, why can you not believe that the second year with all of them together, the second year with that kind of creative, innovative play calling, knowing what he's got on the field, knowing his players more, his players buying into it, his players believing in him, then you bring in Jalen Ramsey to not only give you a little bit of toughness, but to better the defense and give you like a winning culture, a guy who's won, a guy who knows what it takes. Jalen Ramsey, I can tell you this, is going to affect that locker room just as much as he's going to affect on the field. Him being in there and him telling or showing Miami how you do things, what it takes, organizing the defense, organizing the locker room, it's a huge deal. Real big deal. So I don't care if Tua is left-handed. I don't care how he throws. I don't care about these Twitter videos where they flip him to where he's right-handed. I believe in Tua. I'll tell you this. This is about to be. We're about 11 minutes in, so I can say this kind of stuff, and only a few people will hear it and yell at me in the comments. Given everything, if they're both healthy, wow, baby, this is about to be hot. If they're both healthy, I would rather have Tua than Trevor Lawrence. Moving forward. That's how much I believe in Tua. And I'll tell you this. This is about to be hot too. I would rather have Mike McDaniel than Sean McDermott as my head coach. There you go. There you go. Chew on that, ladies and gentlemen. We'll end the video on those hot takes. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you already typing in the comments, screaming at me for those two takes right there? But what do you think about the Dolphins? Do you think that they are a legitimate threat? Or do you think it was kind of a meme last year? Tua will get hurt again. He can't do it. He's not as good as... Where are you at on them? I am Tua non until I die. I believe in Tua. Let's go, Miami. I will see you in the next video.